Don't turn that off. Turn the camera back on, baby. I saw you in bed.
No, I'm on. I'm on the floor.
Oh,
Because
Oh.
my bed is in the other room, and it's well, it's in the bedroom, and that's through the wall, which is why I was getting bad reception for a long time. So I'm in
Oh,
the floor in my living room with my head on one of those like upright pillows.
yeah, yeah. I got one of those.
Yeah, I've used it on the sofa so much that it's no longer upright. But whatever. I was just curious if it would work, but also, I mean, if that's turned on, then my reception is going to be worse. So, not doing it. That said, reception. The signal strength's been pretty good lately, so huzzah!
well, I finally started watching Heroes, and I watched 3 episodes, and I was like, yeah, I don't like this, and I stopped.
Oh, the Save the
The
Cheerleader, Save the
original,
World?
What?
Save the Cheerleader, Save the World heroes?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
well,
Didn't get that far.
was it? Let me put it this way: was it like early 2000s quality, or was it like 2020s? No, late 2010s quality.
Huh?
Was Spock in it?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
What other
Okay.
heroes would there be? What are?
Heroes Reborn.
No.
Yeah, they did it. So the original season, I've probably mentioned it before. I don't know. I say it a lot. The original concept of the show was that each season was going to start over time wise. New cast. NBC liked a lot of the characters so much, they're like, no, you're just going to have all the same people come back next season. And they and then season 2 got hit hard by the writer's strike. Like, just as stuff was starting to happen, they had they had, I think, 8 episodes that season, and 6 of them were written before the strike, and then the last 2 basically had to summarize like 8 episodes worth of stuff into 2, and it really fell apart and was bad, and it never really recovered. Season 3, they were going to right the ship, but it just wasn't good anymore, and then eventually we just kind of gave up hope, and then after like 10-12 years or something, they rebooted it with with a new cast and everything, but I don't know, it was still bad.
I don't know. I didn't think it was good in the first place.
Well, that's because so you got to consider that it was coming out pretty much after Lost, and Lost had
Yeah,
the
and
thing
it was
of
very clear that they were trying too hard to be Lost.
no, because the problem is Lost never asked questions and then never answered them. Whereas what Heroes would do is ask a question and then answer it in the middle of the next episode, and then set up a question for the rest of the episode that would then be answered in the next one. So you got the resolution that you wanted, and it would set up plot points, and you would get what you were hoping for, instead of, yeah, we put a polar bear there because it was kind of cool and funny to put a polar bear there, and we built something around it that paid off 6 years later. But no, it was a very good, short, immediate reward kind of season, or well, that first season at least. But again, the ending of the season was botched because NBC told them at the last, well, not even at the last minute, they told them towards the end of it, all these characters are going to come back. You can't kill anyone, and you can't introduce new people.
Well, but to answer your question, no. They mentioned Siler a few times, but didn't show him yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Technically, no. I haven't seen Zachary Quinto yet.
Yeah, that's still that's that one. Yeah.
Is it Quinto or Quinto?
I don't know.
Quinto.
Quinto? I don't know.
I've only ever heard it as Quinto.
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's Quinto, like quinoa. I guess that'd be Quinto. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you know what
Quinto.
I mean. I think it's just Quinto.
Okay,
Maybe.
well, I declare this stupid, so let's get started. Welcome to Outwit, Outplay, Outcast, a Survivor podcast on the Night of the Living Geeks Network, where we talk about a show that is airing right now most of the time instead of a show that, God, I really think it was like 2008 that it came out, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, maybe even earlier. God, wow. So long ago, so long ago. Yeah, well,
2006.
06?
06.
God damn. That show can vote now. Yeah. Well, anyway, you know what? It was a whole thing. It was fine. But it very quickly. And you know what the other thing about it is, now that I think about it? It introduced and did a lot of neat stuff, but superheroes in 2006 hit a little bit differently in 2024.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. There's so much superhero stuff now that the idea, like, I started watching The Boys recently because when it came out, a couple of people that, in hindsight, I'm like, wait, their opinions on things are stupid, were saying it was bad. And so I was like, and also at the time, I was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to watch a, hey, what if superheroes weren't so heroic? You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, it's just, already at that time, I was kind of like, I'm not, like, that seems overdone. I started watching it, and it's pretty good, actually.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm only, I think, 4 episodes in, so clearly there's a lot that can change, whatever. Like, the episode I just watched was the one where they did the race between the 2 fastest speedster people. So clearly I'm real early into it.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Well, I know it's satire, and I have a, like, you don't have to like it. I'm not saying, oh, everyone must think the show is great. But one of the reasons that I was told it was bad is because, in hindsight, I'm like, wait, this person doesn't understand satire and thinks that everything that shows something is endorsing the thing. And sure enough, then went recently season 4 or 5 or whatever it was. I'm not sure which one released, and all the people, like all the right-wing assholes who loved the show, realized all of a sudden that, oh wait, they're making fun of us this entire time. And I was like, oh, I'll go back and watch it. So yeah.
Yeah, and they stopped making it subtle that they're making fun of them. It's very explicit now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I'm 4 episodes in, and it's not subtle at all.
Well, it's much more clearly referencing Trumpers in the 4th season.
But it's the same thing as people who are like, watch Star Trek and side with the Ferengi, or the people who are like, when did Rage Against the Machine get so political? Like,
right?
You know, man, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Like, there's no way you can watch this and go, yeah, that Homelander seems like he's got it all together. What a neat guy. No, I mean, it's really weird. Like you're saying, the people, like the Ferengi are one thing, whatever. You can side with the Ferengi because they are, after all, like, especially after Deep Space Nine, they are very new. They become nuanced and whatever. But, like, yeah, the people are like, oh, you know what? That Dominion over there, they seem to really have it together. It's like, or who, like, you know, the United Federation of Planets, they're really a bunch of little fucking coward-ass bitches. But what really neat is you get on your own ship and you just fly around space doing whatever the hell you want. It's like, that's not what Kirk was doing, man. He had rules.
Yeah.
Anyway, also having rules is Survivor, and we're going to be talking about episode 10, which was titled "Loyal to the Soil," which honestly sounds like a right-wing propaganda line. I don't think. But yeah, I'll put it this guy: if somebody who looked like me walked up to me and said, "I'm loyal to the soil," I would just I would look at them a little askance.
It might raise an eyebrow, yeah.
I'd raise an eyebrow. Yeah, I'd be like, really? Yeah. I would not automatically assume it means they're loyal from the top of their head down to the bottoms of their feet or whatever they want to call it. But hey, it rhymes, so it must be correct.
Who's going to read today? I think it's
I
your
don't
turn,
know.
Nicholas.
Oh, fuck. Let me, hold on. I have my tablet. Damn it, unlock. I have my tablet all set in a nice spot so that I wouldn't move around, and now you're making me... Oops, that is Julius Caesar. Here we go, document. By the way, I've been reading Julius Caesar, one act per a day, because acts are pretty slow if you're just reading that, or slow, pretty fast if you're just reading them. It's a good play.
I mean,
Good play.
I honestly thought as you unlocked your like home screen is just a picture of, I imagined a bust of Julius Caesar, and you unlock, and you're like, hey, there's Julius Caesar. I don't know.
No, I don't have, so on my tablet, I don't have any, I just have the default background and the default wallpaper, you know what I mean, like lock screen.
Yeah.
On my phone, though, since I took a bunch of photos when I was in Washington, D.C., I made, so my lock screen is the portrait of General Sherman, and then my home screen is the Lincoln Monument from pretty up close. What have you guys got on yours?
I've got a live wallpaper that looks like you're flying through space. It's like, it does the warp trail thing that Star Trek does.
That doesn't kill your battery?
No, I mean, I don't give a shit. It's plugged in all the time.
Yeah. Brian, what do you have?
On my tablet?
Any of them?
Well, on my tablet, it's a picture I took of Alice Cooper at a concert.
That sounds about right.
On my my laptop, which automatically puts it on my desktop, I took the background of Rick Sanchez's garage, and I drew a pumpkin with his face on it. So I turned myself into a pumpkin horty. Some pumpkin Rick.
I was going to ask if you had any Manowar album art covers on yours. Yeah. Andy, if you don't know, Manowar is a metal band. They don't
I thought
other
it was a
bands
fish.
Other bands play, Manowar kills.
Okay.
Yeah. They sing a lot of songs about Vikings and stuff, and they're very earnest about it. I love them.
All right.
Okay. Anyway, let me go read this thing. Let me go to the documents. All right. I know I hyperbolize in these things a lot, but we begin with Teeny literally vowing to avenge Saul. The comparison between Teeny and Jay Cocaine continues after Tribal Council, where we see the aftermath of Teeny's plan to save Saul falling apart. Just like him, everything she does just doesn't quite work out. Every single thing she has tried to do is blown up in her face. Genevieve feels bad, man. But also she knows she's exposed now and plans to hide out until the heat goes down from 5 stars to 4 stars. Meanwhile, Andy is telling everyone he's their number one, even as he stirs shit with them. Rikishi and Scotty Too Hoggy designed the reward challenge, forcing everyone to do the worm, and we get a really, really odd slow motion of you going down on a ball. Kyle, Rachel, and Sam dominate the challenge and finish before any other team even gets a chance to start rolling balls. They get food. Kyle and Sam gun for Gabe and settle on Genevieve as a backup, but Rachel would invert that order if could. Back on the beach, Gabe goes to Kyle, and we learn, I'm going to kill you, Kyle. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Let me rephrase that. Back on the beach, Gabe goes for Kyle, and we learn, I'm going to kill you, Kyle, wasn't an out-of-context non sequitur from Sue in the preview of the previous episode. In fact, we get a whole Sue supercut of her hating on Kyle. Teeny's bag is burning and uses that as motivation because humans are amazing and make narratives out of nothing. Just anything that will fit a story in your head, we'll just make up. Jeff tempts everyone with rice at the immunity challenge, and not enough people are willing to sit. Somehow, surrendering shots in the dark is equal to people sitting, and everyone except Sam is immediately willing to take the offer, but Gabe guilts him into it. Our shot... Sorry, it sounded like you were going to say something. All right. I was continuing right along. Nope. Save it for afterwards. It's not that much longer. Our shot in the dark bet immediately resolves. A balance challenge once again comes down to Sue and Kyle, with the wind just being a major bitch all challenge long. In the end, Kyle wins again, and the Gabe or Genevieve dilemma comes to the fore. Target starts on Gabe, but Rachel makes a subtle move to shift it towards Genevieve. Her move does not work out, and Gabe goes home, but was also subtle enough that, at least up through the preview, she got away with it. Now, I mean, anything can happen in the next episode. We saw footage from the previous one in this episode that we didn't see, so who knows what's going to happen. Maybe it'll be Fallout. Maybe there won't. Anyway, that was it. What were you going to say?
Nothing. I was blowing my nose. I think Genevieve's still a little screwed. I mean, Rachel's like move was subtle enough, but like I think it doesn't matter. Like there are a few people who are on the fence going back and forth, and I feel like a lot of times it's not the same person who was second. You know, like the next episode, like it's between you and Gabe. Next episode it's you, right? That doesn't happen a lot, but I feel like there's a pretty good chance it happens this time.
Yeah, unless she wins or something. I have the feeling that Rachel kind of realized that she didn't have the leverage she thought she did, and just kind of gave up on the plan.
Yeah. Or also, I mean, if the wind's going the way it is, and just don't, you can go along. You don't have to piss into the wind. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, it's like with Teeny in the previous episode, she wanted to save Saul, but she went and wrote his name down because it's like, well, why fight it? I'm already, I don't want to look worse than I am.
Or put somebody's name out there and make a new enemy for no good reason.
Yeah. Didn't she do that? No, that was someone else, right?
Yeah.
Saul did that. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Saul, yeah. He's the only one.
Whose name did he put down? Do you remember?
No.
No,
it wasn't
I don't
Sue.
remember. It was
he would
early
be talking
on.
about, I hate Saul.
Man, Brian, that supercut happened, and I was like, is Sue Brian's new favorite player? Because Sue was like, he keeps talking about he's such a family man, his horse shit.
I absolutely love the guy. I want to kill him as she's chopping the coconut.
I love that they showed a cut of footage from day one, because Rome was on there, day one through day whatever today is. I was thinking, though, it's like, lady, you are way too vengeful if you're like, he wrote my name down. And they showed you in multiple different outfits, meaning that this was multiple different days. You have shouted to the camera, he wrote my name down. It's like, you really got to get over it.
How many times did she write his name down? Once.
He wrote her name down.
Yeah, he wrote her name down once at the second
time,
tribal. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's still bitter about it. It's like, yeah.
In her defense, the other two people who wrote her name down were TK and Sierra, and they're both gone, so...
Well, and, oh no, yeah, you're right. They're the only two. Or, well, only three total, including Kyle. But regardless, like, unless someone is actively gunning for you, like, the reason I think that a lot of these people, like, I don't think she'll win because she does not have the strategic insight the way that other people do. And yes, she has won an immunity challenge. All right, I mean, that's something, I guess. But, oh, wait, actually, I'm sorry, she won two, but one of them had two winners. Regardless, though, she won one, but, like, socially, she's doing average, she's doing okay. But, like, if you can't let go of the one person who voted for you on day 6, like, you're not that strategic of a player. And so I just have a feeling that she just won't win, even if she gets to the end.
This is, like, literally 10 days ago real time. For her to still be holding this massive grudge is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Genevieve and Gabe are as good as they think they are either. Because I don't know where both of them got the idea that if they survive this vote, they automatically win. Like, you still got, like, 5 more goddamn votes you have to survive after this.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Genevieve said, like, she said something along the lines of, like, if I get through the night and it's Gabe, then the game is opened up a bit. Which is true. I've been saying that for the last couple episodes. That Gabe is the one who's locking down Sue, and then Sue is locking down Caroline, and then by there's 3 Tukus. Kyle might as well go with them, right? Gabe's the one who is holding Tuku to be one solid voting block. And so if you can take out Gabe, it opens up those options. So Genevieve's right. Gabe is the one who was saying, like, if I get through tonight, I think I got it. Like, that's a little cocky.
Yeah, that's delusional.
Yeah. You know what? I was really hoping, like, I don't care that they didn't vote him out. I'm just at the way that at the beginning of the episode they were showing Andy being super cocky. I was really hoping he was getting voted out at the end.
Yeah.
Because it would be funny.
I don't know if they're setting him up for a really interesting final tribal, like trying to like build him up as a player so that when final tribal comes, you're thinking, well, maybe Andy really does have a chance, when in reality he doesn't. Or if he is legitimately having a chance at winning, or if they're setting him up for the amazing hubris downfall.
Yeah. My money right now is on Amazing Hubris Downfall, and I think he's doing a better job of it than Rome did, because he isn't over, what's the word I'm looking for? He isn't boasting about how in control he is to everyone else. You know what I mean? Like, Rome was constantly, like, overbearing. That was the word I was trying to look for. Rome was being overbearing towards everyone and domineering. However, he is making a very common mistake that, at least as I see it, where he's trying to become everybody's number one. And like you saw it when he was talking to Sue, and it's like, problem is, eventually, with Rome, eventually everyone's going to start talking, and they're like, well, he told me I was his number one. To be able to do is have someone say, well, he didn't tell me that, or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, someone like Sue, who ignore her, completely be nice to her, you don't need to be rude, but don't make her any promises, don't do anything, and then that way they can say, if they say, well, he told me I was his number one, and you say that you're his number one, at least if they see, oh, there are people he's not talking to, that means we are a three-way, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, or like that's one thing. Like going around telling people that you're interested in working. He's not saying number one. He's saying I'm interested in working with you. I can see us being at final travel together. Those are things that are a little malleable. What's tricky is he's doing that, and he's also stirring shit up. And
yeah,
like
he's doing a good job. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was gonna say he's doing a good job of stirring shit up. Like the way that when he was talking to Rachel, he just casually mentioned. Genevieve mentioned your name or something like that as a threat. Like, you know, he just threw it out there, and if she bit the bait, great, and if not, you know, whatever. And she took it, but, you know, she didn't, you know, she took the bait, she didn't take the hook, if that makes sense. I don't know if you guys have ever gone fishing.
Yeah. So I yes, and I think what makes that work, because all people have to do is compare notes. But I think what's making it work is how much everyone seems to have still written off Andy.
Yeah.
even though Rachel's like, I guess I gotta come back around to working with Andy, and Sam's like, I gotta come back around to working with Andy, and Teeny, or was it Genevieve, were like hanging out. Yeah, Genevieve went and sat with him for a minute. Like, lots of people are just going to kind of chat with Andy for like 2 or 3 minutes. But enough people are doing it, but they all are still like, it's just fucking Andy. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just Andy. And Andy, to his credit, is letting them think that about him. And he's just, like, letting it ride. And he's using it to his advantage. So, like, he might have realized his role in this game is, like, I'm the one, I'm playing a Fabio role. I want everybody to think I'm fucking stupid and bumbling. And maybe I was on, you know, day 3, but I'm not anymore. And I'm going to let them keep thinking I am.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. I think you're right, or at least that's his intention. He definitely plans on that. Now we'll have to wait and see until the final tribal council if he can sell that, though.
Yes.
Like, yeah, like it's one thing to put yourself, like, he got his foot in the door. Can he sell you the vacuum? Who knows? That's what it's going to boil down to. Like, he may muff it at the end. And I'll put it this way. If he wins, like if he is able to sell that to people and get them to understand it, then yeah, well, game well played. Good job.
He also needs to do.
How he could possibly sell that.
See,
like,
sorry.
Yes, Brian, go.
How could you possibly sell that though? I don't know how you're going to being like, oh yeah, when I pretended I didn't know anything, it was just going along. I wasn't. I knew it was happening. You know. Okay, sure, Andy.
He needs to have one vote that he controls, or one play that's really smart that he can point to and say, this was me and nobody else. Because, like, he's done things, like, he had his whole speech at the beginning of this episode, and at the beginning he did mention Gabe, and at the end of the episode, Gabe did leave. But, like, also 5 other people wanted Gabe out, right?
Yeah.
And it was the same thing with Saul, and the same thing with Sierra, right? He's done this thing where he's interested in making this move, but also maybe it's the obvious fucking move because everybody else is also down for it, you know? He needs to, like, it's the right call, but, like, he needs to do a call that's his and maybe is right and maybe is wrong, but it's the risk he took that then got him to the end if he does get there, you know?
It's so Rachel had a really good point when she said, I don't need to steer the boat. I just have to be the ocean that moves it or whatever. I'm butchering it, but you know, it's true like that. So she is doing what Andy is doing, but she's being a little more intentional about it, which hopefully means that either one of them, if they got to the end, could say, or could point out, this time I said this, and then like cross-check with everyone, say like, hey, Gabe, did I tell you such and such? Or Saul, I told you that, correct? And then that led to this result. Like, that would be how you would sell it. And I would like to believe that he could do it. That said, though, I'm like 90% sure Rachel could make the case.
See, I think he'd be like, you remember when I said it was going to be Gabe, right? And then if Genevieve's in the jury, Genevieve's like, I also fucking said Gabe.
Yeah.
Rachel would be like, I also said Gabe. Like, everybody would be like, you weren't special in that, basically. We're in the era where the jury is going to call you out if it's not your move. If it's a move that was done with multiple people, you have to give those multiple people credit.
Yeah. Otherwise, you were just tagging along.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe he can't sell it.
I feel like he's gonna fold also if he's in the final, and anybody like is angrily asking questions. I feel like he's just gonna fold.
Hey, we might get our oh no, I don't remember our Liz freakout moment again. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't want us that much chat in front of it. But weren't you saying that the final episode is going to be like 2 episodes long or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're splitting it up.
14 episodes this time.
It might just be the longest tribal council ever.
I mean, I don't know. The last couple times, the thing is, like, when every episode's an hour and a half, the finale being 2 hours or whatever doesn't feel as special. And it starts to feel rushed, right? Because they go into the finale with, 6 players now? And it starts to be like boom, 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 boom to get to final tribal. So I wouldn't mind stretching that taffy out a little bit. I think that's okay.
Maybe we'll get the return of the march where they pick up everyone's fallen glow stick. That's not torch.
No, Jeff has said he's never doing that again.
Oh, goddamn! It's because of the guy from Entertainment Weekly, isn't it?
I don't know. He on Jeff's podcast, he said that it was really awkward when people would have to do that thing and then run into torches for people they never fucking met.
Yeah, I always love that. We were like, Tim, I have no idea who you are. Bye.
Yeah.
That's too bad because then there's nothing for me to skip in that episode.
Yeah. So is Sue's game cooked now?
Yeah, I think so.
Did she have a game?
She had like, she had being old going for her, and she had an idol. But I feel like if she didn't play the idol now, right? Like, in 2 more episodes, she'll play it on herself, and nobody will fucking care, right?
Yeah. I'll put it this way: this is the episode where her chance went from 1% to 0%.
Yeah. Like, so much of her identity, I feel like, was attached to Gabe that now, unless she goes on like a war path of vengeance and drives the next 4 votes, getting out everybody she feels like wronged Gabe to get to final tribal, like, she has to burn the motherfucker to the ground, I think, to have a shot.
Or she literally kills Kyle.
I think that might get her DQ'd.
Yeah, but she would win the Survivor. She out survived him.
That's true in the most literal sense. Yes.
And then they'll do a Ghost Island where Kyle's a ghost. Yeah. I wrote a note down. Give me a second while I look up.
Oh shit! You made a note. That sandworm thing that they had them doing looked fucking exhausting. The reward
I made
challenge.
1 or 2 notes. Oh yeah.
Like I know
Oh,
they have
yeah.
they have all like the torture challenges, like standing on a this and that, and shredding your feet. But like this one just looked like everybody when they got to the end just like flopped over dead. And I'm like, I had dinner and I feel that.
Like, I don't know. Not everybody. I feel like Kyle, Rachel, and Sam were perfectly fine at the end.
Yeah. I thought
They
It
kind of
was-
kicked everybody's ass, the whole thing.
it was neat to see them strategize it out. Like, oh yeah, if you just go in the same trail that he took, you could do this, that, the other thing. But yeah, it was the funniest thing in the world seeing everyone just kind of flop around and do the worm
Yeah.
and like try, especially going up over those hills and like pushing the ball with their head. I was laughing. And then when they decided to do the whole Andy slow motion thing, I was like, what is this? They know what they're doing. Because here he is, like, licking the ball over the It was just so silly.
No, you know what happened is he grabbed the ball with his teeth and threw it, which is kind of cool. But like what happened is they were filming and they were like, oh my god, we got this shot in a high enough frame to slow mo it. Fuck yeah! And they were like, we can't not put it in.
You know what it was? We were like, we're at. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what they were like, we need to be at 90 minutes. We're at 89 minutes and 30 seconds. How do we add 30 seconds? Let's have him doing cunnilingus on a ball. Yeah,
It was-
all right, cool. Sorry.
That's true. It was a very long slow mo for what it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand using your teeth. I mean, I don't understand. It would be much easier to just put it in front of you and keep moving. But at least it makes sense to pick it up and throw it with your teeth. Why did he stick his tongue out?
Got to get that
What
traction.
the hell? How was sticking your tongue out going to give you traction?
Yeah.
Let me just lick this ball before I bite it.
Underrated also was Caroline when she was doing it, because she had a look on her face of like, oh, God, I can't believe I'm doing this. It was just really funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, all right, I get, like, it was more along the lines of like, all right, I guess this is just what I'm doing now. And she just had a look on her face of like, okay, I'm not gonna give them anything to work with here.
I do think it is worth noting that the one thing the challenge did illustrate was that Sam and Rachel have a good working relationship, because Sam was doing positive coaching that could have on a bad day been taken as condescending, right? But Rachel was like, yeah, okay, yeah, oh yeah, I see, yes, and it was like into the coaching and took the suggestions and did them. Like, and so that's the kind of relationship, like, that's something, especially you're in the heat of the moment, you're hungry, tired, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's easy. It would be easy for Rachel to get defensive with that kind of coaching, and she didn't. And Sam was gentle about it, and that they had a positive working relationship, which is a very useful thing in Survivor.
Were you guys, as I was, were you a little bit surprised that Kyle didn't just immediately get the ball in the hole?
That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought he was going to do it on the first one, and then Sam showed him up.
Yeah, like, it looked, don't get me wrong, it does not look easy. I know it would take me a couple of tries, no problem. But it's just like, I thought for sure he's going to get it, and then he took like 3 or 4 shots. I mean, hey, he still got it really quickly. But, yeah, I was really surprised that he didn't just, like, blow it out of the water the way that Sam did.
You see, Sam got it in the first roll because he is both a skee ball champion and a mini golf champion, and this is the synergy of those two hobbies.
Is he really? Or
No, he's fucking not. No.
I
I don't know.
Skee ball used to be a running reference that we would use, and so I was like, wow, how great would it be if he really was a skee ball champ? Also, I'm very gullible.
Yeah, that's true.
That I had that I remembered was that I really liked that they did the Rice thing later in the season. Like, it feels like last time they did it a little bit earlier when there were more people who could have sat out. And then also, like, I get why. Okay, objectively, yeah, getting rid of shots in the dark is kind of dumb. Like, that's not equivalent of having half the people sit out. That's kind of lame. However, I got what Jeff was going for. He's like, all right, one time I just stabbed this thing because they were taking too long to dither. This time they've given me at least a little bit of a wiggle room. I'm going to milk it because maybe someone's going to say no. And sure enough, Sam was like, well, I kind of need mine and da-da-da, so I don't know. And so there was a little bit of drama to be had with it. But yeah, at this point,
Yeah, and I mean, if you're like just dithering over which is the fourth person for the straight up negotiation, like, yeah, stab the rice bag. But like, they proposed a new idea, and you got to give the players, a moment to consider the new idea.
Well, it's also it's the yes. It's like, okay, they're not enough people are going to sit because they are not confident that they're safe. So if I say, all right, 4 people sit, and they don't, then that's not really entertaining to watch. So if they give you something to work with, you just say, all right.
What were you going to say, Brandon?
You know what people need to do with these things when he offers for people to sit? They need 4 of the people to figure out, I don't think I'm safe, but there's no fucking way in hell I'm winning this challenge.
Yeah. I'm not fucking beating Kyle, so yeah, sure.
But also, I don't like the way they're like in it, like, oh my god, it's such a big deal. They gave up their shot in the dark. I'm like,
yeah, it's not.
Most people don't use it.
Yeah.
And, people went like 42 seasons without this thing perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think they'll go Nick.
My real qualm with it is it kind of showed how pointless the shot in the dark is.
Yeah.
That 7 gave them up so readily, and one person was just like, all right, why not? And 2 have been used this entire season.
One
has been used this entire season,
and it was just to test the reaction.
Yeah, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, it's not. It is a variable, and all right, cool. There's a point to it, but it's just like, if people are that willing to just toss it, it's kind of like, why bother?
I guess you could say Andy kind of used his. If you remember early on, he gave it to Sierra as a show of trust.
Yeah.
Which she then used to mock him in confessional.
Well, he was very mock-worthy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That was another thing. Aladdin out there. Yeah. And I noticed, I was thinking, oh look, Jeff looks really dry. They must have him in a protected Lee or something like that. And then I realized, like, the top of his shoulders were hella wet, and it's like, oh yeah, the wind, he's facing the opposite direction of all of them, so it's just hitting his back.
Yeah.
He's getting as wet as everyone else.
Hey-o.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say something about how he kept talking about, for the immunity challenge, talking about everybody's balls.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good...
No.
I need to go scrape that for drops for next season's intro.
Balls.
He literally said, time's almost up, grab your balls, or something like that.
Everybody grab your balls, and then I was just like, he's doing it on purpose now. Come on, man.
Yeah, he has to be.
Survivor porn was so old, Survivor. So, season 38, 39. It's not the new era. Be a chaste young man. You're only 60 some odd.
So, what are Kyle's chances of winning? I know we're all saying, like, oh, Kyle keeps winning. Eventually you got to get Kyle out because he's just going to keep winning. But, like, do you get to the point where you're just like, let's just let Kyle win the immunities and then play without him?
I think he had, like... That's what there is to it. Like, You know what I mean? Like his social game is good, his challenge game is good. He's not making waves in the voting.
Only one person doesn't like him.
And I don't know, people. Like I was gonna say, people don't seem to like her, but they do.
And I mean, Genevieve literally said, I think she said to Gabe, like, if Kyle gets the end, I'm voting for him.
Yeah. It's like that's the thing. It's like he's nice and he's good at the challenges, and he's like, okay, you're right. He hasn't strategically made any power moves or anything, but that's part of it. Is like you make power moves because you can't. You have to. He doesn't have to because he's just that good at it. That said, though, I don't think he's going to win. I think that the next time he loses immunity, he's done. And yeah, like no discussion about it, really. I think he's basically just such an obvious vote that really the only thing that could save him is if somebody plays an idol for him, and I just don't see that happening.
Like Sue?
Yeah, Sue's not going to do
it.
Rachel could as that, and that would be her power move, but then that might paint.
I think that would just piss everyone off.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You have to do it at just the right moment.
Yeah, if she did it, like, let's say it's 5 people, right? So there, and she. Wait, would it still be in play? I believe it would. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 is the last.
She plays. Oh no, I'm sorry. Let's say it's 6 people. She plays it at 6 to save him. Then 5 comes around, and now you really got to get him out. And now, granted, at 4, she has to win fire making or something. But at that point, she has enough of a resume in the recent history, fresh in their minds, that I think she could carry that.
I think you'd have to save Kyle to get Kyle to promise to take you to the end or something, right? And that way you could say, like, look, I not only used my idol to protect my agenda and move myself forward, and then guarantee that I got here, right? And that's not quite the kind of move Marianne pulled at the end of the season, where she had one in her pocket and then got somebody else to play theirs for her too.
Yeah,
that's just baller out of control. But like, it's pretty close to be like, look, Kyle was winning fucking everything. I know it's coming at the end of the season. I know Kyle's got a good shot at winning that, so I, bet on that horse, and here I am. It's not a bad spin.
Yeah. So okay, so Caroline, I don't think she's got a chance. Like, she doesn't have enough of a resume, and time's running out. Genevieve, yeah, she could if she got to the end. We've talked about Andy. We talked about who have we not talked about? We talked about Sue because we were saying, what is she going to do?
What about Teeny?
Yeah, Teeny. I don't. I mean, I don't think that she has the J cocaine problem. Where what does she point to except for a legacy of failure? And now, credit to her for making moves. You know what I mean? But like, other people are making moves too, and they're pulling them off. So it's just like, all right, she's got nothing.
I think likewise, Sam doesn't have much of a shot. Sam's. Yeah. They could just say, like, Sierra got voted out, and then you were just kind of doing what Andy said you should do.
Yeah. Sam has spoiler vibe to him, where like he like Teeny just wants revenge, and I think he'll go for it. But like, also at this point, who does he really want revenge against? I guess Genevieve, and then fucking maybe Andy.
Andy, really, man. That's the thing, is Andy's the one who Andy's flip is what made everybody okay with saying Sierra, right? Yeah. And so, but like, Andy's still working with Sam, so Sam, like, it's you can't say you went on the path to vengeance to get to final tribal when you're voting with the person who put you there.
Yeah. But, not unless you're saying the Lannisters say hello.
Send their regards.
Send their regards. Close enough. I feel like saying hello is very Game of Thrones. Sorry.
Oh yeah, totally. But there's going to be 3 of them. So what if the end is Sam,
No.
Teeny, and Andy. Then what happens? I have no idea at that point.
If it's
That would
Sam,
be
Teeny, and Andy, I think it's Andy's game to lose.
in
Honestly.
that. Yeah. But that said, though, could you see him losing it? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, like that's the thing, you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, it's his game to lose. It's like, well, like he is definitely the kind of person who would
Who would lose it?
mess it up. So yeah, I don't. So then it really is anyone's game at that point.
I do want to say I don't
Yeah.
want to write off Caroline as quickly as you did. She's also having a little bit of hard luck. I think uncoupled from Gabe, if she can use Sue and Kyle or position herself away from Tuku, like just that block was being held together, and now is her chance to show what she can do outside of that. I don't have faith that Sue is going to do much outside of that, but I think Caroline can, and I think Caroline's. We talk about likability as Kyle's big sell, but I feel like Caroline is pretty high up there on the likability too.
A lot. That's why I'm disappointed that she hasn't been able to make any serious moves or build much of a resume. Is the thing. Like I think she's good. It's just that, and she's definitely likable, and she's definitely can work with people. But other people are playing her game and playing it better is the problem.
See, what if
admitted as much?
What if the end is Caroline, Genevieve, and Andy?
Well, then, congratulations, Genevieve.
Yeah, you would definitely win.
I don't know. Sometimes people don't vote for the backstabber, and I feel like Genevieve's big move was backstabbing somebody, and okay, bye.
Yeah, but they don't vote for. I mean, it depends. Like when that happens, they don't vote for because the backstabber is like, "Oh shucks, oh man, I didn't want to do it." When they own it, and I think that she is the type of person who would own it. Like you saw how she dealt with Teeny, saying like, "I didn't want to, and it sucks, and I'm sorry that I had to." But at no point did she like mealy mouth weasel her way out of it. She said like, "I left you in the dark. I did all this. Da 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 da. I didn't want to, and it sucks, but I did it." And that's the thing. It's like I think that's the kind of thing that gets you more votes than it costs you.
Yeah, I think Genevieve's final tribal would be like, I came out here expecting or with a plan to not let emotion get in the way, but after we voted Saul out, I really found my emotions with Teeny. I think that would honestly be part of her final tribal, is that finding her emotions bullshit.
Yeah.
I think Genevieve is the only one left that can say that, like, all this stuff happened because I made it happen. She's the only one who can do that. The rest of them haven't done anything.
Yeah, the rest.
You've tried, but they're all failing.
Yeah. Anyway, you know what? Okay, let's rank the things. So at the top of the heap, you got Genevieve, who's like, I made things happen. I said this should happen. They happened. I did things. Then
I think Kyle. I think she's a 1A. Kyle's a 1B.
Yeah, exactly.
Same tier.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, not in terms of how we value them, but in terms of their chance to win.
I concur. But then underneath that, in terms of the hierarchy, you get the people who are like, I tried things and they didn't work. And then you got people, like the third part of that is, I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah.
I didn't try anything, and I just went with the flow. Luckily, everyone is trying something. But you're right, Brian. Genevieve is the only one who's like taking active control. Everyone else is just kind of like building up their infrastructure, and she's the one out there actually like delivering product.
Do you say the thing about Sue still being mad about her one vote? But Genevieve's still mad about Rome, so.
I mean, she's mad about losing Rome. She's not mad at Andy for voting for Rome.
Yeah, that's the point. Well, she was mad at Saul for voting for Rome. So, for some reason, she blamed all of it on Saul.
Well, because
everyone wanting him gone.
Well, when they were at the merge, Saul was going around really banging the Rome drum, which Rome definitely earned.
Yeah. I wonder what he has to say about the season so far. You know what I mean? Like I'm wondering if she's discovering things like like seeing Rome in his confessionals being all kinds of like, I'm doing whatever I want. I call this game. I'm invincible. And I wonder if she's seeing some of that and going like, oh yeah, wow, he was way worse than I thought.
Oh no, I think she pegged who he was.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
like, you're a tool, and I'm gonna use you.
Yeah. I liked Rachel's analysis also that they should get rid of like she could make the case to Kyle to get rid of Genevieve instead because Gabe was the inferior Kyle, and people would vote him out before they voted Kyle.
Yeah.
Which, true or not, I don't know, but it was a good move at least.
Yeah, I think Rachel's tribal is the underestimated. Even though people have pegged her as being a threat, I think your tribal is the, you all thought Gabe was a big threat, you all thought Genevieve was a big threat, and I was the one maneuvering the whole time, right?
Yeah, I was the one putting the blood in the water. Like,
Yeah.
telling you guys, this is the threat. You should have it. Unfortunately, if that's her case that she's making, then I think maybe Andy bites that flavor a little bit because none of you thought I was a threat, and here I am at the end. Har har har.
Yeah. Her trick is she's got to use that idol in a way that's useful.
Yeah.
That's what so many seasons comes down to is do you have an idol, and if you did you use it properly?
Yeah.
Even if it's just saving your own ass one vote, that's fine. Just don't do what Gabe did and was it the second tribal and just fucking throw it out there to throw it out there. because you're afraid of it. Like, that's the thing. If you're burning up an idol because you're afraid of the idol, that's not, nobody respects that.
I could see
It
using
might be smart, but nobody respects it.
Oh no, I was like if you're Gabe, I could see using it and then just going out and finding it again the next day.
Yeah, just to burn it to see what happens next.
Yeah, just to be like, all right, I used it. Hey, I don't have it, and then kind of like what Rachel did with her shot in the dark, where I'm going to use it to gauge the reaction, also to see, now people know I don't have or think that I don't have an idol because if I did, I would have used it, not a shot in the dark. So Gabe could theoretically, or not even Gabe, like let's say we're on this show somehow, we find an idol, which will never happen. I would be worse than
Andy.
Looking, I would walk right by it and not even know. Whereas he at least was looking for stuff and not finding it. I would just be like, I don't know.
In fairness, Andy did find the idol first, I think, this season, and he just put it back.
I know. I'm more referring to the auction money where he struck out.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, right, yeah, like just use it, and then the next day you find it, and then people are like, well, clearly he can't have another one because if he did, whatever. I don't know. That may be overthinking things, but that's just my thought process on it.
Yeah.
Are there any other points that anyone would like to bring up?
Brian?
I want I forgot his name. God damn it. The guy who keeps winning.
Kyle?
Kyle. Jesus. I want Kyle to shatter the record. Because Jeff brought it up, some elite people have won 5 times. I'm like, yeah, but they won the 5th one on the last episode. He's got fucking 12 more tries or whatever. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but I want to see him get 8 because the people who have 5 are cocky douchebags, and I want them to be taken down a peg.
Whereas Kyle is a humble motherfucker with a. Wait, sorry, that's a line from The Wire. I'm just a humble motherfucker with a great big dick.
Okay, so
I'm
most immunity wins in a single season is 5. That's the record, and it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-way tie between Ozzy, Tom Westman, Terry Dietz, Colby, Mike Holloway from season 3, the blue collar or whatever, and Brad Culpepper. So if he gets one more, he's tied for the record. But yeah, I'd like him to just get fucking 8 and smash the shit out of it. That would be pretty useful.
It's always always really satisfying when there's one person with a record instead of like a 6-way tie.
Unfortunately, the record for most individual immunity wins their whole Survivor career is Rob, and I don't think that's because he's so good. It's because he's played five fucking times.
Yeah, no, that's that doesn't count. Yeah, no, I would like to see him do that too. That's you know what? Let's pray on it.
That's why Kyle needs to get like 8, because otherwise there'd be an asterisk for that one where he didn't actually win. He was just the last person on his side.
Hey, that's immunity. He won individual immunity that way.
Oh, he could get him on this list. Mean performance finish.
Oh God, no!
So
I don't want to do advanced stats for
it's taking into account third, fourth, and averaging out as a percentage and not.
No, I know, but still, if we're gonna get into Fenwick 4, I don't want to. We're not doing that.
Honestly, the list is not that different.
Wins above replacement, yeah. Or what's their VORP? What's his VORP?
I mean, look, the top 5 is Joe, Englem, Ozzy, Mike. It's a lot of the same people.
All right, we're going to fantasy now because like I said, I refuse to talk sabermetrics.
Well, we did have.
Computer boy's got to say.
We had one bet resolve and 2 bets did not resolve, but we got somebody to strike off. So we have the $1 million Deadpool. Brian had Gabe. That felt like that was a pretty good shot on that one. The $1 million Deadpool is the first person to say $1 million decision, $1 million challenge, blah 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 blah. And Gabe never said the thing, even though kind of makes sense. So Brian, unfortunately, you're out of that one. The only one left in the $1 million Deadpool is me, and I have Rachel. We have the not here to make friends Deadpool, and I had Gabe in that one. I feel like also that's something he would have said. Unfortunately, he never did. So Nick and Brian, you're still in that one. And the one that did resolve is the shot in the dark over under, because even though the season's not over, we know there's not going to be any more shot in the dark played. So Nick, you and I had the over at 1.5. It was the 1.5. We had the over. Brian had the under. And since only one was played, Brian, you're getting those 3 points. If you want to see the other bets, you can go to Oooshow.com. On the left, there's a link that says fantasy. You click on that, you can see our bets and our scoring. This week, Nick, you came into the weekend last place, with Andy, Genevieve, and Caroline. Andy got you 2 points because he survived and said the episode title. You got 1 from Caroline because all she did was survive. But you got 3 from Genevieve. How'd you say that? Genevieve. You got 3 from Genevieve because she survived 2 votes. You want to have the players that get the votes cast against them, but don't get voted out, because it's kind of like playing with fire. In this game, fire represents your life. So that is more points for you. That is 6 on your 54, giving you 60 points. Brian, you came into the week in second place with 56. You had Sue, Rachel, and Teeny. Sue and Teeny only got you 1 point each because all they did was survive. Rachel got you 3 points because she won that individual reward. And you got 3 more from the bet. So that is 8 onto your 56, giving you 64. I came in the week in first place with 64 points. And I have, unfortunately, Gabe, but also Kyle and Sam. Gabe got me 0 because he got eliminated. Sam got me 3 because he won that reward. And Kyle got me 5 because he survived and won both challenges. So that is 8 onto my 64, giving me 72. And the only person to replace Gabe, I could pick Jeff or one of the 3 zombies. And I'm gonna take Jeff.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the right play.
No, yeah, he's the optimal solution at that point. But not pretty far behind. Oh well.
Yeah, it's all right. You both are.
Yeah, but you only have 2 people now, so
that's true. It'll be a lot easier to catch up.
Yeah, especially when Kyle doesn't win next week and they get rid of him too. You're just screwed.
Could be. I don't know.
Even that, I still think. Uh-oh, did you hear me yawn as I was saying all of that? Well. We have come to the end.
Cut out. Kind of cut out when you yawned, but yeah.
Oh, well.
Okay. I know you don't do the advanced stats. They also have stats for the lowest performance, like lowest performance metric, right? So the worst challenge performers, the weighted performance. Do you think you can name one in the bottom 10 of worst challenge performers?
Crystal.
Nope, don't see her.
From Gabon?
Nope, not in here.
How do they? How are they counting them? Like,
His mean performance
There's-
finish.
like-
So I think
I
this
mean,
is
like, there's plenty of people who've never won any challenge. Like, there's like hundreds of them. So, like, what? How are they counting this?
so it's the I don't know.
David Wright?
Oh, minimum 4 challenges. So they have to at least been in 4 challenges. David Wright. I know you'd think David Wright would be on here. Let me find him. Right. He's not on here actually. He's not in the bottom 34.
Give us one recognizable and interesting name. Keyword interesting.
Sierra Easton. Purple Kelly. And the Queen, Sandra, of course, is down there.
Sierra Easton. What? Is
John
she the barrel?
John Cochran.
Cochran was bad at challenges?
Cochran was bad in challenges.
Yeah. Good for them.
What about what was that one? What was her name? The one that was just eventually on a tribe by herself because her tribe lost every damn challenge.
Stephanie LaGrossa.
Yeah. about her?
I don't know if she performed in enough. This is it
She
weights,
was definitely in more than 4.
but it weights
I think-
individual. It weights individual challenges. So did she get? Should she compete
okay.
in 4 individual challenges?
She did
No,
when
I
she was in. She did when she was in Guatemala the next season.
I don't know how she did in that season.
She got to the end and lost because they were like, "Why? You already had a chance. Why would we give you $1 million?" And they gave it to Danny, the sports news broadcaster out of Kansas City. Fuck you all! I remembered that shit.
Oh, here we go. For career, you have Philip Shepard, Sandra Diaz Twine, Cerie Fields, Debbie Warner, Fishbach. This is a notable list. Abby Maria.
That's a lot of interesting
These
names.
some
and
bad
names.
players.
Yeah. Cerie is not a bad player. She's just not good at challenges.
Bad challenge
Yeah.
competitor. We'll say that.
Cerie, like I mentioned, she won her first season of the Traders, and like the way that she won. So it's okay. So the way that show works basically is, one person is a trader, and then the other people aren't, and if they find the trader, someone new becomes the trader, and like at the end, it's something like
It's Among Us.
Kinda, yeah. But basically, so the end, she convinced 2 other people to just kind of give up the game so that she would win. And, like, got them to not drop out, but, like, basically they made some big, it's been a long time since I saw it, but they made some big fuck up where they thought that she was a loyalist all along, and it was classic. Not that classic if I can barely remember how it happened, but regardless, worth going. I like to screw you all.
All right.
All right, that's that for that. So we will see everyone next week, and I promise you, no fancy stats, no computer boy talk, just straight, hard, down the middle Survivor.
I mean,
Will we talk about tall wooden ships and/or the Roman Empire? Almost certainly. But also Survivor.
Straight
kind
and
of wanna
hard.
Feast, that's all I'm saying.
Huh?
Rachel kind of want to feast, that's all I'm saying.
I don't know. That's how Andy's call. But
Oh. We'll talk about it after.
figure it out. I don't give a shit because she's not on my team and I already lost. So whatever.
Well, I care.
Well,
Points, man. I get
Oh, I
points
know.
if you want to feast.
I know. Anyway, we'll see everyone next week. Goodbye. Getting late. Okay,
You are the
will.
weakest link.
You are the weakest link. You are the hole in the ring. Goodbye.